It's your boy Echoes for another live stream on Huddle In, and we got a lot to talk about with Rem Cycles today. But first and foremost, how you feeling?
I am feeling fantastic. So many beautiful things happening of like 2 weeks, a month. So I'm just excited about life. How are you?
I'm good. No complaints here. I tell everybody another day in paradise. Even if there were complaints, they don't get me anywhere. So, oh
Mm,
well. Feeling good about this. Like, yo, it was crazy. So, like, I had seen that you have a bunch of things coming out, like a very kind of like laid out timeline about what you're working on, and I want to get into all the details of that. But before we do, um, I just want to encourage anybody if you don't follow Rem, is it and it's okay if I call you Rem?
of course, yeah.
Cool. So if you don't follow Rem, go to on Twitter, it's Rem underscore cycles. Click on the bonfire link, and you can see all about Rem, including the music, the bio. It's a lot of information there, so you can get some background on there. But Rem, I want if you can in a Cliff Notes version, um, give me just an abridged version of you for the people.
Beautiful. So I'm further known as Cycles. I'm a music artist. I call myself musical visionary, creative being. I have my hand in pretty much all of the musical process, like producing, song, bunch of instruments, sing, rap, engineer, just like the whole shit of things. And yeah, I'm into the Web3 crypto world with music, our standard DSPs, like arenas. Um, and yeah,
Cool. Yeah. Well, and like if I'm just gonna be completely honest, that was so truncated. Like, please, everybody, check out the website, check out the catalog. There's a lot of stuff. Speaking of the catalog, I think that's the first place I ever heard your music. So I would encourage everybody to check out Catalog. Rem's got a lot of cool stuff on there. Also, major big shout out to you, Rem, for being one of the early Huddle In folks. Really
yeah,
appreciate you posting content on there. We love that. Um, but I want to make sure we give the appropriate amount of time to everything that we're talking about as far as your project that you got going on. And there's a whole lot here, and the first part's already out, right? And it's on catalog, correct? I think I lost you. Can you still hear me?
yeah, I can still hear you.
Oh yeah. So the first part's on catalog. Talk to me about this first song that's on catalog.
So the first song, uh, "Stamina Up," it's based off if people have ever played Call of Duty, like in zombies, there's this like perk machines that you the way of me incorporating my childhood more so into music, and this is basically the starting of a different type of album rollout, like the relationship going on. So the first track was up on catalog. Is going to be starting from now on. Like every track is going to start as a one of one demo, and basically whoever collects it, I'm going to like put in the description the mixing mastering of it, or you're gonna help the music video or like whatever elements getting that song into a more presentable version of itself. Um, is going to basically play the executive producer of seeing the track come to life. First collector of like the series for Stamina was CXY, one of the best human beings in the entire world. Like
Shout out to CY.
I just gotta, yeah, yeah, because he's just great, and he's doing a bunch of different experiments to kind of a project. Um, but yeah, so he is basically helping, and then the second half of it is like building in public. So through like just hopping in people's spaces, sharing the song of where it's at, um, hopping on calls with opinions on stuff, posting snippets, posting little beat tutorials, etc., etc. Until the final song is ready to be released, and then that is going to be the access point for people that may not have a huge like involvement, or especially like financially as well. And I'm going to do it. It's going to be another access point into it outside of like sharing things, beat packs. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like the full 1, 2, 3 step. Because I'm from Florida, and here in Florida, if you're from Central Florida, is that's the money maker. You know what I'm saying? That's like the touristy areas. And when me and CY were kind of talking about this idea and how it could like come out, where he was giving me this example of like, oh, like when you go to the theme park, like a lot of music right now is kind of focused on this kind of, you kind of pay for the things that they like experience the song, and there's kind of a lot of expectation out of like vibe out of being able to see an artist's journey like in a full process of like a ride being built. Then every time you go to Disney, you see they out on this next part, or they railings, or they and it basically makes you feel more part of the story versus by it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's basically what this whole project is about.
I love that. I love that you're making the emphasis on a more, I guess, a holistic approach, right? It's not just the end product, it's seeing things along the way. And like, if people want to be involved in that, they can, right? Like, if people want to collect or hop on or support and show love on this, they can. And I think that's important because, I know you've been here for a while and a lot of us have been here for a while. And I think we're at this point where it's like, we want to see something that's sustainable. And I think just simply
Yeah,
dropping additions all the time is really hard to sustain, especially with, like, I'm just going to call it like it is. We don't have a lot of people in the ecosystem yet. So,
yeah.
um, I love this idea of bringing on content and working with folks and getting out there. Um, I'm curious what went into you deciding the order of what would be released.
So originally in about like January, I was getting really specific. I wanted to move forward as just a person in the space because I kind of was doing the type of thing where like here's a drop, hope somebody like picks it up instead of and bringing people along like a journey. So after January, once I got real this year and really start that path like concrete and build towards that, I got and we were I was just telling him these different ideas that I had songs, and I had sent him like a track list of these like 13 songs that I had to, and he was like wait, that's a story. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a story there, you have something that's journey alongside it, and um tell a progressive. So that is basically what set the order of like okay, there's gonna be 13, so this is this way.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. I also enjoy that you went to the one of one side because I personally I like one of ones. While it's harder to obviously get a lot more people like onto your collector side if that is the goal. I love the idea of one of ones, and even if you can't get one person to do it, I love the idea of using like a party bit or something like that because even linking the party
Mhm.
bits is not the same as additions, right? Because like truth be told, like once you get your section of your party bit, that's pretty much its forever home, right? So um well, I know you have a whole structure, obviously what you just described and everything like that. But what was the thinking with like started as one of ones as opposed to kind of what the meta is right now where everything's like mega editions?
Yeah. I'd say for the one of one, my like bread and butter, like heart and soul of getting into Web3. My first true like releases where I was like connected with collectors on catalog as one of ones, and I've always just connected and like success or seeing like people actually collect. It feels a bit more intimate to like my process as an artist, because like if we get into the music sides and stuff that I use are like generative. So when I bounce out I'm going to get a different bounce sound, like literal sonically bounce every. I literally view like and connect with my art as one of one, and so I just alive moving forward into this like project and just with the music as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that makes. I love that. I love that part of it. Curious when you go through. So I like to try to if we can dig into maybe some of the like your creative process when it comes to this project in particular. Was there one kind of like maybe underlying inspiration across everything, or did it vary from like sections, or was it track to track, or like what was kind of like what were you feeling at the time? What were you into? Like what kind of came to you as you were making these?
Yeah, so definitely the music that are part of this like 13, 14 projects have been made over like the course of a couple like years, like I'd say the past like 2 years. And how I see creation is a visual artist. So sometimes I'll like open Ableton and just similar to how an artist will open up a sketchbook and like sketch in that way and kind of I dropped this release for the amp, and the beats that were in the pack that not in the pack but were literally like sandwiched together, like it was three just like completely different vibes next to each other, and that's just how my brain like thinks of like, okay, here's sketch one here, like I'm not gonna start a whole new like Ableton project to start a new beat, like and that's just that's kind of how I just went when it was like time to do spring cleaning. And I was listening to some stuff with this song, and this kind of fits with this song, and I like this here, and I think these can also tell like an artist story versus just here's some beats that I have that I'm gonna just release as one. So, yeah, it's like it's very similar to the visual artists and refining, creating different types of things, I'd say.
That's pretty dope. And that makes a lot of sense too. What I'm curious also
Mhm.
about it, what are you know, like I'm curious, like what are you listening to right now? Like what's the vibe? And then kind of a two-parter with that. In another one of these that I had a few weeks back, I was speaking to somebody else that also is like a producer, makes beats, makes music and all this. And he said that he has kind of a sweet spot around like as far as the tempo is concerned, like 120 BPM type thing. I'm curious if you have a preference for like kind of where you are right now and what you're listening to.
So I'll say I don't. The producers, they are like superhumans, because my brain is just like find a vibe and go. When it comes to like making stuff like that, that like when you get to certain genres and you get a little bit more less genre, I'm gonna make an Afrobeat track today, or I'm gonna make a reggaeton track today, or I'm going to make like this, like the BPM and the pace are definitely important. Um, but for me, I'm just all around. I listen to whatever. So like me, I'm like, cool. I want to listen to it, and I'm gonna add it to like my playlist, my own music, just because music is a very in like I remember when I started making music, someone was like kind of just like imitate people, especially with singing, because I started with singing and doing like classical work, lectures and shit. Um, but over time, when I wanted to start making my one, was like you need to make the music that you want to hear on the radio. If you were to walk into or whatever, you make music to fit like your world. I listen to my music all the time because like I am in my own world and my own experience, and it's really special when other people connect. This is crazy, and I'm like, okay, like that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Um, it's a lot of like my own music, and then recently I'll say I just and Apple Music has my listening history from 2016, like my favorite tracks from then, like 2015, 2016. So back and rebuilding this playlist. Like I want to have a playlist of songs saying peace out from the world. Um, and I've basically just been favorite artists and stuff that I grew up with alongside like my own music.
That's really cool that you listen to your music on that level, because I think there's a lot of people that, um I think a lot of times it starts off that way. People make the music that they just wanna make, and then there becomes a certain expectation, and then they try to shape it to what they think people will wanna hear. So I love to hear that you listen to your own music all the time, because you know, who's gonna be the biggest advocate of your music is you, right? So, um, curious too, I guess another two-parter here. Um, one is I'm curious to know who you've collaborated with really on any level that has been like probably maybe your favorite collab. Um, and then two, do you have your eye on anybody, also here in the Web3 space that you're like, yo, I want to make this happen at some point?
These are good. Uh, that's the first question of favorite collaborator is difficult because everything is kind of like everything kind of like wow, that's like
It's like asking you to pick your favorite kid, right? Like,
yes. Yeah, all of the children. I love all of the pets. I love all of them. Uh, I'll probably say collaborations that I've been making, or even just like demos and started in like the Web3 space. About me in this time compared to the stuff I've done like before, like 2022. I feel like I went through exactly what you were just saying, like 2021, of just like making stuff and live, and you know what I'm saying, like take care of my physical, like okay, let me just keep making, let me like become an artist still, um and that kind of even rubbed off into like Web3 when I first came in, and like of like I really came in as like a producer, and I was kind of just like, so now that I'm making music as like an actual artist, or like recording artist, vocal artist, and that way, all the recent more sentimental and intimate, and I'd say did a collaboration with Scorch, and like are both singing in Spanish and stuff, and that was real tight. Um, my brain is blanking.
it's all good.
Yeah, it's like my brain's like they're all like the little SpongeBobs are like searching around like all the collaborations I've done. Some other special ones. There's this guy named also in the Web3 space. I think he's released an album on catalog. We made like some demos in 2022 that were like really sentimental to me. I'm working with Dav now, and we're working on like just real stuff, like real intimate, like, and I'm like, wow, this is, I can really like get this deep and personal with someone else, like as like I'm an artist, or you know what I'm saying? I haven't really been in that yet comfortably. Those like these little sessions we've been having have been really, really like refreshing. Future collaborators. I like a lot of people in, so I'm like, damn. I'm like, oh my god. There's this artist by Hayes. He dropped this track called Caught Up. I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. So definitely want to make something with him. Iman style, just like how she carries herself through her music, personal as well. The more I'm getting to like hear her now. So Sassy Black, she's like this. I don't know if you know Sassy, but she's
Yeah,
like,
that's the Atlanta fam.
yeah, exactly. I love Sassy. Just she fits in the funk vibe perfectly. Leo Pastel is another person I feel sonically like can sing together pretty well. Not just like sing like mesh together really well. There's so many people in my brain, and I'm like, if I keep going, I feel like I will not stop.
It's all good.
Yeah, I like Latasha. I like there's this guy, bro, my friend Kaki. I definitely used to make music, and I would love like minting it, and I would love for her to like keep. Another person named Genesis. I just met. Jazzy, Miles Brian Harris, Scala. Now I'm thinking of the people. Cam
Yeah,
Murdoch,
whole Future Surf crew. Yeah, yeah.
whole Future Surf crew. They're like fam. I really like fuck with them as just energetical. Other, um, bro, damn near like if I like just anybody, I feel like I'm the big person where on the producer side is I love to experiment and take people out of the bike. You know, if they're like a reggaeton artist or they make like R&B, I'm like, I listen to the quality of their voice, I listen to the timbre, and I'm like, okay, we different style or make this even more emotional or do something like that. So like, I want to work with as many people as possible. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I love that.
Just
I wanted to shout out, you know, are you familiar with Excelencia?
yes, he actually lives very close to me. I was gonna say him earlier.
I
Thank you
was gonna
for
say, I know he's down that way, so that could be a good one, especially if you're on the reggaeton vibe, like, big Excelencia fan. So, you know, maybe some heat from y'all, you know, we'll see, we'll see.
let me
Um,
text.
speaking of, so in the Florida area, if I were to come through, man, what's the spot? Like the best I'm looking for the best food spot. Like I'm not like like a connoisseur, but I do like to, I like to dabble in all sorts of food. But if you had to take me to one spot down there, you're like, yo, this is it right here. Like, what is it?
Man, that's really hard because like I here I also love food. I'm gonna make so happy with some food, you know what I'm saying? So many places here that have also kind of like they're not like around anymore that were like like family businesses and stuff. Those I'd say any type of like family owned place to like knock your socks off because there's where I get like fast food and stuff. But here, like family place, whether it's like a Chinese restaurant, where it's like like actual like arepas, fucking. If it's family owned and it's like authentic food, it's gonna be amazing. I'm trying to think of a specific place though, like near me. Vegan food.
Man, so I tell everybody, I say, your boy, like, I'm a big boy, like, I'm 240, and you don't get to 240 by accident. You know what I mean? So, like, um,
40 by accident, yo.
yeah,
You
yeah, I'm
have to, yo.
6'3", 240, bro. Like, it's not an accident. I eat, so
If you come to like, if you not regular Florida, if you come to like Central Florida and you go east, there's a lot of great places, Asian cuisine. Um, there's a specific like Korean barbecue that's is not hot pot, but it's like a Korean barbecue place, and I can't remember the name right now.
I'll get down with some
It,
Korean barbecue. Yeah, for sure, for sure. What I'm curious too,
bro,
as the follow-up to that,
yeah,
does food help get you in the mood, like, to create, or does it make you like, "Nah, now I gotta sleep," type thing?
yeah, it's probably a mix of both. Like sometimes I'm like, bro, I need the energy, so eat. But then sometimes if you have like heavy meals, you know what I'm saying? So the itis type meals, yeah, I'm gonna have to wait until I finish track. I like so.
Oh, dude, I definitely so, like, there's a spot up the street from me that's like this Trini spot, and bro, if
Mm,
I eat that food, nothing, no productivity out of me after that, so I gotta avoid that spot.
just thought of a place, like one specific place that it's called Jaw Love. It's like a Caribbean like oxtails. You could go there for like my entire life.
Ooh,
And one place I'll say like near where and like eat everything and
yeah.
sleep.
That
Yeah.
sounds like the joint right there. I'm in for that. So next time I'm down there, I'm in for it. Um,
Yeah.
well, we're approaching the 30-minute mark. I don't want to hold you too long. I appreciate you sharing with us. I want to encourage everybody, please follow Rem if you are not already. It's at Rem underscore cycles. The site is there. You can read the bio, you can hear the music, you can see the plan. I want to leave this up to you. Thank you for sharing with us, and the floor is yours. Hit us
Wow.
with dates, hit us with any message you want. It's all you.
A message. You have 0.005 ETH in your wallet. See me make a music video in LA with one of my besties. Then go to and check out Realidad with me and Scorch. One recent drop. I'm gonna be dropping on Sound next week,
Hey.
14th. Yeah, the song we were talking about earlier with CY, like Fun Life. That'll be on the 14th, and I can, you DM me or text me. I can like send you the space and stuff when it's ready. So watch out for, and that'll be Stamina Up. That'll be like the full, beautiful version of it. Um, and then after that, keep my notifications on. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me more like person. Follow me on Instagram. Definitely share more of my personal life and all of the beautiful stuff over there. And yeah, if you want to work with me or job for you, you like my music, or you just want to have a nice conversation, then yeah, you can shoot me a DM on Twitter, hit me up on Instagram. You can follow me on Lens as well. I'm over there now posting beats and snippets of things.
And Huddle In.
And Huddle In. I have to post more on there, actually. Legally obligated.
Nah, man, I'm with it, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody that's either listening now or after the fact. You heard Ram. If you've got any questions, any suggestions, anything like that, the DMs are open. Let's keep it moving. And I appreciate you guys. Ram, I appreciate you. And we'll catch everybody on the next one. Peace.